Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson. I'm an intuitive coach, an energy practitioner, and a life strategist. And my goal is to help you become clear and confident and maintain your kindness and compassion as you navigate the challenges of life and as we all try to get through this together. Okay, my incense sticks are they're not staying up in my little sand. Just burned myself. All right, we got it. We got it. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of our show. And today is Fun Friday. Yay! Why? I don't know if you felt that excitement. That was actually genuine enthusiasm, but I'm not sure that they came across exactly. Kind of felt a little sarcastic, but it's not, I promise. I'm really excited that it's Friday, and I'm super excited to be here for you today because today we're doing something that I have actually not done. I don't think I've done on this show. I don't think I mean, I do privately, obviously, when people ask me to do love readings, I do those. But I don't think I've done a love reading on the show. So I decided why not? It's been a topic. I've had several conversations with people this week who are navigating dating at this stage of life. Who knew? I remember telling Scott literally over and over again how happy I was that I no longer had to date. I mean, I don't even know how you guys do it out there. It's kind of scary, but that's okay. This is for you, not for me. So let's discuss it, okay? Um, we're going to talk about what energy or what is the energy of the weekend in terms of through the lens of, not in terms of, in the lens of love and relationships. So we're looking at connections with other people. What does the energy look like? What should you be doing? What may you not want to do? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what the cards say. Okay. So this is for anyone, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're in a situationship, and you just kind of want a little insight on whether or not your love life is going to get sorry, I was like, whether your life's going to get an injection of energy, but that doesn't sound right. Or maybe it does sound right. I don't know. I don't know what your love life looks like. So I hope you are getting an injection of energy. This is going to go south fast. Okay. All right. I'm having some coffee. We're going to do our little warm up, and hopefully I'll be able to do this without too many. I can't make any promises. This brain just takes everything to where it goes. So just follow along. Okay. Let's just get right to it. We're going to light the candle, and we're lighting the money candle, even though we're talking about love today. We're going to light the money candle, right? Because love costs money. No, it doesn't cost money. That is just a joke. Please don't attack me. Okay, money, a cash flow boost for all of us. Okay, may we all feel abundant and have enough cash to be able to enjoy going out and celebrating our love and relationships with the people that are important to us. Okay. So we're going to do 3 deep breaths, okay? We're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, I want you to imagine that you are calling in all of the love, light, and life force energy the universe has to offer, okay? Plant your feet solidly on the ground and just bring up that beautiful energy. I want you to, excuse me, hold for 5 seconds and then exhale. And when you release, you are going to release all of that energy that's stuck, stagnant, limiting beliefs, anything that doesn't serve you, and you're going to exhale, okay? And when you are holding your breath, I want you to imagine that life force energy activating your cells and just energizing you for the day. Okay, here we go. Deep breath in and hold and release. Okay. Let's do that again. Another deep breath in, hold for 5 seconds. And remember, I want you to imagine as you're holding that breath, that life force energy activating your cells, and then release anything that doesn't serve you with the exhale. Here we go again. Okay, and we're gonna do it one last time, and we're really gonna make it count. So please make sure that you do it. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna take that deep breath in. Sorry. And hold. And release. Okay, now we're gonna do our stretches. Okay, wherever it is that you feel tension or stuckness or pain, if you feel pain, do this slowly and just breathe into it. And then release with your breath. Okay, your breath is that healing energy that you can just focus it on where you feel tension or where you feel pain. And release. Okay, and then we shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Ooh, okay. Now we're going to call in for our spiritual support team and ask them to help us setting our intention for the day to make sure that it is in alignment with our highest and greatest selves. Okay, so I will say my little prayer, and I encourage you to do the same for yourself, or just sit and listen to mine, or set an intention, or just sit in silence. That's okay too. Okay, here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away all the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from divine existence. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us all set an intention that is in alignment with our highest good for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you for showing us the signs and synchronicities and messages in nature, music, movies, through the cards that I pull, and through the words that people say today and always. I appreciate you. I serve you. And I'm grateful for any wisdom you may have for me or the collective today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. All right, let's go. So while you are thinking about your GPS word or setting your intentions for the day, I want you to reflect on that GPS word and make sure you are embodying that word today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can go into the description and download my free transformational guide, and it will give you some tips on how to choose your GPS word, along with other energy hacks and things that you can apply immediately to try and navigate whatever challenges you might be facing. In addition, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that and ding the notification bell so that you know when I am showing up. And what else? What else am I failing to tell you? I think I've told you everything. Oh, also, you can go ahead into my calendar and book a session with me if you'd like your own personal reading, a strategy session, or a couples reading. I do love readings. I do business readings. I do whatever readings you want with tarot, but also I do support you with some strategy because of my coaching experience. So you get a lot when you come to me. So just let me know and book your time. And you should do it soon because I'm going on vacation and you will not see me for a week. Just saying. Okay. Well, you might see me, but I won't be doing readings. Okay. So let's move on. If you're watching, please say hi. Let me know that you're watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Let's get down to business. We're going to pull some cards, people. We are going to pull some love cards. Why? I don't know. I just felt like it. It's been a topic, but honestly, please share with me your stories. I would love to hear stories about people navigating the dating scene, um, because because it's fun. It's fun to hear. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that it's fun for those of you who are struggling through it, because I can't even imagine. I don't even know what it's like. I don't even want to know what it's like. Actually, that's not true. I want to know what it's like from you. I just don't want to have anything to do with that. So, but let's see. I have lots of love in my life. I'm sure you have lots of love in your life. This is not just romantic love. Um, well, we're going to talk about romantic love because that is the topic that we're discussing right now. But if you are not in a relationship, that's okay, right? Because you don't have to be in a relationship, and we could also be talking about the intimacy and the connection you have with yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have anybody in your life or an intimate partner, right? That is not a reflection of you or how awesome you are or how you function in a relationship, because lots of things happen and life takes all sorts of twists and turns, as my life is evidence of that. But if you are not ready, or if you have not met somebody, or if you're just not in that frame of mind, right, then I want you to listen to this love reading, and I want you to apply the advice and the suggestions and the energetic information to you, and how you treat yourself and how you love yourself and how you show up for yourself, because that is the single most important relationship that you are going to have to navigate your entire life. From the moment you exist till the moment you no longer exist in this physical plane, you are cultivating a relationship with yourself. And you cannot properly cultivate a relationship with someone else if you can cultivate a relationship with someone else. Okay. I don't want to say that like you have to be amazing and healed and perfect in order to attract an amazing, healed, and perfect person. No. Okay. Because there's plenty of things that we do together. But what I will say is, the stronger your relationship and your connection to yourself, the more you advocate for yourself, the more you put yourself on a pedestal and make sure that you are receiving, a reciprocal energetic exchange with whoever you're involved with, even yourself, right? Like if you've got a lot of, negative self-talk, then you have to get yourself in check to eliminate that negative self-talk, because that's not a good relationship. If that person talking negatively to you was another person, you'd be pissed, right? But if it's yourself, you're like, meh, right? No. So anything that I talk about today, if you are not in a relationship, and you have no desire to be in a relationship, and you don't want to think about the love aspect of this in terms of in relation to someone else, then I really want you to focus it on yourself and what you need to do and what is in the air for you this weekend in order to improve that relationship with yourself. Okay, so that's what I'm saying about that. And now we're gonna pull some love cards. Okay. Oh, hi, Jim. Glad you're listening live. Very awesome. Safe drive. I think you're still driving, because I happen to know Jim is driving. All right. So, okay. So we're going to start with, what is the energy of love this weekend, right? So like what is the energy around relationships this weekend? What is that love energy that we need to be looking out for? Okay. So I'm going to do a little shuffle. Let's see what the cards have to tell us. We're going to start with tarot, and then I'm going to clarify with oracle cards. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to use my old, beautiful, amazing deck, the Enchanted Map, as the clarification. And the tarot deck I'm using, as usual, is the Luna Soul Tarot, because I love it, because it's awesome. All right, here we go. So, what is the energy of love this weekend? Should we do a pop out? Let's do a pop out. Energy of love. Oh, that's too many. I don't like that. That makes me feel like I have butterfingers sometimes when I do this. Hello, AGF. Welcome to my show. Oops. Okay, that one flew out. That counts. Okay, you guys are laughing at me, but this is new. Okay, the way I pull these cards is new. The Hermit. um, so this is the energy of love this weekend, which is hilarious to me because basically it's like it means do your inner work, right? Do some inner reflection, right? The energy of love may be hidden, right? It may be just look at this how the hermit, the light is within, and the hermit card is usually a time for introspection. It's a time for you to um really understand and connect with your inner light, right? And so like it makes sense because we just talked about this, but what does that mean when it's talking about in relationships? So perhaps you are going through a transitional period in your relationship right now, whether you're in a relationship, a solid committed relationship like a marriage, or not, doesn't have to be a marriage. Um, if you're in a solid committed partnership, or if you're in a situationship, or if you're single, then this card tells me that the energy is to really be introspective and connect with yourself and ask yourself what you want, right? Like what you need. What is it that you're looking for, right? Because it's very hard for us to show up in relationship with somebody when we are not clear on what it is that we need or when we're holding back, right? This is an opportunity for you to be vulnerable with whatever relationship that you are navigating right now. But before you can be vulnerable, you have to be clear. You have to like know where you stand and what you want and be able to articulate that to the other person. And so what it feels like is that this is not necessarily time to articulate it, but it is time to think about it and decide where you stand and what is it that makes you feel most connected to yourself, and then how you can embody that outwardly in a relationship. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get some clarification on that hermit card for the energy of the weekend. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right. Tell us about the hermit card. Hi, AGF. Can you get a free reading? I mean, this is a free reading. I'm telling the collective about the general love energy of the weekend. So feel free to stick around and, maybe I'll pull a card for just you if you want to hang out. Okay. Those cards all flew. Okay. There we go. Let's get a clarification on the hermit for the energy of love this weekend. Oh, okay. 2. Oh, okay. So here are the 2 cards that showed up for the hermit, right? And we have the mountain card and the come together card. Now, the mountain card tells me like it feels like there is a lot to navigate, right? And maybe there is. And I think that in general, don't forget that we are still in, and because it just happened, we are in Mercury retrograde. And when we're in Mercury retrograde, not that you need to panic, but just be aware that sometimes communication can have, some hiccups. Technology, which means messaging types of communication, or memes, or things being sent accidentally or not sent, or words being misinterpreted, that can happen. So you may feel like, sort of you're climbing a bit of a mountain and you don't know if, it's worth it, right? But the other card, the come together card, says yes, right? And so this brings me back to the hermit and that reflection of like being clear on what you want, and truly understanding, and also being vulnerable, right? So this come together card means it is telling me to open up and be vulnerable if you are in a relationship, or even if you're in a situationship, right? Vulnerability. Okay, I was never, even in my years that I was dating, I was never someone to hold back my feelings, my expression. Okay. What you saw is what you got. I couldn't hold back no matter how hard I tried. If I was liked somebody, I liked them. If I didn't like them, also obvious, right? And um, but sometimes that vulnerability is being able to open up about your true feelings, maybe about your vision of the relationship, maybe about your expectations. And it becomes a vulnerable moment because you're sharing and you don't know how the other person's going to react. You don't know whether they're going to accept that part of you or that information, or if they're going to be hurt or offended, because we don't know how people are going to react to the things that we say. It can be upsetting even when there's no intention to be upsetting. So knowing how you feel and what you want and being willing to open up and be vulnerable is really the key to evolving in a relationship, right? And it's how you can get over those mountains, right? Any challenges that you have with someone in a relationship, if you are able to just be open and honest and vulnerable, it doesn't mean it's going to go well. And it doesn't mean that you're going to end up together and happier and more connected. What it does mean is that you are being open and honest and vulnerable. And if the other person receives your honesty and vulnerability, then that is one way that they are showing that they are ready to receive that vulnerability, that they will hold your heart in a safe place, and they are somewhere soft you can land when you're feeling scared or anxious or nervous, when you want to talk things through. You want the person that you're in a relationship with to be able to receive that vulnerability. And if they are unable to or incapable of receiving that vulnerability, that is information for you. So then you know, oh, okay, they don't like me opening up and being vulnerable. And then you get to decide, you know what? I don't like being vulnerable anyway. This is fine by me. We can all just pretend nothing's happening. Or you can say, I'm not comfortable with hiding parts of myself in a relationship, so maybe this isn't going to work. Okay. I mean, that's just sort of what came to me. But let's read what the actual cards say, because I like to read the oracle cards. Okay. So number 6, the mountain. You have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling it away is the answer. But why take such treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. I mean, I love that. Okay. And once again, here's what we're talking about. This was the clarification for the hermit. The hermit is introspection, is really figuring out where you stand with everything, right? And the mountain is the challenges you face, whether you're single and the challenges you face are, getting out there, or whether or not to get out there, or if the challenge that you're facing in a situationship is if you want to continue in this like ambiguous crap, or if you want to be vulnerable and say, I'm ready to take this to the next level, being able to accept or understand whatever it is that is the response, or if you're in a marriage, or in a partnership, a long-term committed partnership, and you've just been struggling because, like, truth be told, life is hard right now. There is a lot of things that we're navigating, and you probably have a lot of things that you're dealing with. And when you are dealing with a lot of things within a relationship, you're kind of navigating your own emotions about it. And also you have to navigate the other person's emotions about it, and then how you can function and get through things together. And that can feel truly daunting, right? But if you focus on connection, on vulnerability, on honesty and authenticity, if you are just who you are, and can kind of figure out how to make things work with the person in your life, well, then you're golden, right? And that's when you can come together. So let's read the come together card. Boop-a-doo, come together. Love needs to be shared. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all forms of its expression: romantic, familial, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there's another being involved. Love involves a give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished, Like a magnet, ooh, we talked about magnets this week. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnerships. Well, look at that. I love it already. Okay, so that's good. So that's the energy of the weekend. So far, so good. All right, so let's ask the next question. We're going to do the same thing with the clarification. I'll put these cards aside right here, have another sip of my coffee. Oh, hi, Meredith. I'm so glad you're here. I want to know if Joe Marie loves me and when do we start our good relationship? Okay, AGF, I will pull a card for you in a little bit, okay? Um, I mean, and we'll figure it out. I don't know if we'll get that exact answer. When you start your good relationship is hard to say. Whether or not she loves you, I can definitely answer that, but we'll see. All right. But first, let us discuss, what do you need to say or see or shift to feel more connected in your relationship? Okay. And again, like I said, if you're single and not interested, so what makes you feel more connected to your relationship to yourself, right? What do you need to see or shift for a more connected relationship with yourself? If you are in a situationship, or in a long-term committed relationship, what do you need to do? What do you need to see? What do you need to say or shift? Like, what needs to happen for your relationship to become more committed? Okay, so here we go. Did a little bit of shuffle, and I'm gonna try again doing the fallout. Okay, all right, bear with me. I feel like my hands are too small. Oop, that one came out. Oh my God, don't tell me that what card came out there. Okay, anything else? Come on. Any other information? You gotta be kidding me. Just this one? The Hermit again. The Hermit again. Okay. I am going to read to you the actual Hermit description. Okay, it was 9, right? Okay, the Hermit is also the Virgo. Okay, if you have Virgos in your life, I have 2, my mother and one of my boys. Okay. Virgo is a sign that means becoming whole unto oneself. I want to read this to you on purpose because now this card has come up twice. So I want to make sure that you understand what this means. I want to make sure I understand what this means. Okay. All of this is represented in the Hermit card. Hermits are loners, focused on their inner spiritual enlightenment and growth. Both Virgo and Hermit are introspective and analytical, and this can mean both personal analysis or seeking the guidance of a wise counselor or guide. The mountains, and the other card was a mountain. Okay, the mountains, because there's mountains in like the Hermit card, not in the one that I have, but in the other deck. Okay. The mountains represent development and success, but also a sense of being alone on the mountaintop. In a love and relationship reading, this card can suggest that some deep soul searching is necessary to be in a healthy relationship. As the analysis card, it calls for introspection and alone time before strong relationships can be forged. If the Hermit is pulled in a reading related to career and wealth, okay, never mind, we're not doing that. In a reading related to values and goals, I like that too. Hermit card is a clear message that some time alone to find out what has deep meaning is required. The lamp represents the light of inner knowing, illuminating the way forward. As a wild card, the Hermit always calls for a period of self-reflection, though its meaning can be influenced by other cards in the reading. I mean, okay, so clearly this weekend is not the weekend to connect with another person if it is just a situationship, or if things um, don't feel resolved, or if you're not in a good place. Okay. And the reason I say this is because with the Hermit card showing up twice, it's asking you to really take a look at your choices, your connections, right? And what you are doing for yourself. And if you're really looking out for yourself, if you're really advocating for yourself, if you're really connecting to your true essence and allowing that to flow outward, right? To have an equal exchange. If you are not comfortable being fully yourself in a relationship, well, then that relationship doesn't really have a great opportunity to grow and evolve because you are hiding parts of yourself. So the relationship is distorted distorted because it's based on hidden versions of who you are, or modified versions of yourself. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're having issues, okay, and challenges, and you're being your authentic self, well, that's information that tells you that this person that you're with um, does not connect with your authentic self, does not know how to navigate or hold space for who you truly are. And that's nothing, it doesn't mean that that person is a terrible person. It doesn't mean that that person isn't, you know, meant for you necessarily, right? But you have to ask yourself, do I want to be in a relationship with somebody who cannot fully receive all of me? Right? All the goodness and all the crazy, right? What's that saying? Like, if you can't take the crazy, you don't deserve the good, right? I don't know. It's a saying something like that. If anyone knows, please feel free to share it in the comments. But that's kind of what it is. Like, if you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. Okay. That's the little saying that I want you guys to think about, because it is true. Now, obviously, we have to be mindful and navigate our own worst versions of ourselves, right? That's why the hermit, like, if you are fighting all the time, you need to be introspective and ask yourself, what is triggering this anger? What is triggering this frustration, this feeling that is making me feel disconnected from myself and from my partner or from this situationship? What is keeping me from saying what I want to this person, right? What is preventing me from being my authentic self? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself right now. If you are either in a relationship that is going through some challenges or struggles, or in a situationship that is not clearly defined, or if you're single and you're curious about what it might be like to connect with someone else, you have to connect with who you are and step in fully to being the person that you want to be. And anyone who is meant to be in your life, they are not going to ask you to modify or change who you are. Yeah, you have discussions and maybe you need to not interrupt, or you need to do certain things to be mindful of the other person's feelings. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you hide parts of yourselves, when you are in a relationship and someone says, like, you can't be like this, and it's literally who you are. Okay, stop and think whether or not this is a relationship that deserves your time and attention and investment. Okay, life is too short to be hiding who you are. Be yourself, and the people who love you and appreciate you will be finally able to see you, and then that will evolve into a real, true, authentic relationship. Okay, let's pull some, because I did pull the hermit card. Let's see let's see what the explanation is for this, because the question was, of course, what do you need to see or shift or do in relationships to feel more connected? And once again, we were reminded that you need to go within, you need to get clear, and you need to, like, show up as your fully authentic, connected self. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups or something going on. I don't even know. Okay, oops. Okay, I'm gonna not let those be it, because they just kind of fell out, but not in a way that I felt was purposeful. All right, here we go. So what do we need to know? There was that card that kind of wanted to come up. Okay. All right, so what do you need to see? What do you need to say, see, or shift in your relationships? Okay. Storm fields, right? So this is the challenges that happen in relationships, or the events that occur in relationships that seem to just make a mess of everything, right? It's like finding out something that you were not prepared to find out about somebody, having an argument with somebody about something that, is really upsetting, or, is part of how you function, and then suddenly, like, things are not working in the way you wanted, right? These storm fields is an indication that it can just, like, kind of come in and just make a mess of everything. But within that mess, once things kind of fall apart, it's an opportunity to take a look at the rubble and decide, what from here do I need to take with me? What information do I need for the future? What pieces of this rubble and shattered sort of the story or experience do I need to keep? Do I need to put back together? What am I bringing with me? And what was just destroyed in the storm and I need to let go of. Okay. That's what this is saying here. And maybe that's part of the introspection. Maybe you've already been through something with your partner or within the relationship that you're thinking about as you listen to this, right? And you've already been through a storm. And now you have to think, what do I really want from this relationship now that everything's kind of fallen apart? Do I still want to be connected to this person? Do I still want to build a life with this person? Do I see my future with this person, right? That's what the storm fields are telling you. And then, of course, the next card is the bone collector. And I'm going to read both of these as well. The bone collector is about creating foundations. And it's also about having everything you need right now. You already have it. You already know what a connected relationship feels like, right? Or you know what a connected relationship, or you know what a disconnected relationship feels like. Therefore, you know that if that's what you're feeling right now, then you need to move in the direction of connection, right? And what does that take? What things do you need to do for yourself in order to move in the direction of connection, of honesty, and of vulnerability? Okay. All right. So let's read the bone collector. Bone collector is the first card. Where am I going in this book? Okay. You are whole and have everything you need within. When the bone collector appears, she's asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a particular version of the truth that sets us up to behave in a certain way in the future when faced with a situation that reminds us of the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. No matter what your question, the bone collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Look at that. The bone collector and the hermit, they're like completely connected and about you realizing that you have what you need. You do not need to go outside of yourself to get the love and acceptance and reassurance and validation that you need. You need to begin with yourself. You have it. Okay. So, act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. I mean, come on, people. That was awesome. All right, let's go to the storm field so we can get a little more clarification. I did read Come Together, right? Didn't I? Because that's the card before. Yes, I did. Okay. Storm fields. This too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release. Just as a storm in nature must break, for these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be wildly distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. I love that. Okay. So the last one. Hi, Namira. Nice to see you. All right. I will pull a card for you and for AGF by the end. Okay. I'm just going to finish up this and we're going to ask what's coming towards you. Okay. So we want to know what's coming or what's being revealed in your relationship. So if you're not in a relationship, the question will be sort of more of what's coming your way. And if you are in a relationship, we're going to say what is being revealed. Okay. So what is coming up for you in terms of a relationship, or what is being revealed to you if you are within a relationship? That is what I'm asking here for the cards. Okay. All right. I like to shake them up a little bit and then we will do what we need to do. Okay. Let's do this again. It's been working so far. Too many cards coming out. Although, maybe not. All right, let's just see what. Hey, Mom, nice to see you. Okay, anything else? No. Okay, so looks like these are the cards that wanted to come out. All right, Two of Swords. Two of Swords, you need to make a decision, okay? This, I really feel, all right, what's coming your way, or what's being revealed to you is that you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a choice either to step into a relationship with somebody or to step away from a relationship with somebody, right? You have to make a choice of whether or not you are prioritizing yourself, and if this relationship that you are in, if you're in a relationship, has the capacity to hold your authenticity, right? And you have to decide whether or not you want to keep going down this path that you've been going, or whether or not you want to shift into another path that may hold the possibilities of someone in the future who can navigate or who can hold space for all of you, for all the crazy, for all the love, for all the fear. Okay. That's what relationships are. They are containers for each other's love and anxiety and fear. And we need to have a safe space where we can express ourselves, where we can figure our stuff out, right? We need a place and a person who we can pour into, and then who will equally pour into us, so that we can create and build a beautiful life together. And if that is not your experience, then this is where you need to decide whether or not you want to continue or step aside. Okay. Now I'm going to go, the other cards that were shared, right, is, look, this Nine of Swords, right? And so we have the Two of Swords, okay? And then we have the Nine of Swords. 9 and 2 is 11, so it's all good, nothing to be afraid of, right? But what does that mean? That means that you got to make a decision. You're going to pick up one of these swords, okay? And if at night you are like stressing out about the things that you're dealing with, right? If you are thinking about all of the things in your relationship, if you are thinking about all the things in your relationship that are not working for you, or that are, layers and layers of issues or layers of fears within a relationship or outside of the relationship, right? If they exist just within you, this is your opportunity to take one of these and make a decision, right? And if you choose yourself, very often many of these swords will disappear, right? If you are choosing for yourself, for your best interest, if you are advocating for your needs, and you are setting the appropriate boundaries to protect your heart from anyone who is not fully ready to receive all of you, then you're going to sort of reduce the fears and the anxieties that you're going to be navigating, right? Because so much of this comes from expectations, our expectations of ourselves, our expectations of other people, our fears of being alone, our fears of vulnerability and opening up. And you have to, for yourself, figure out what it is that you can release and take down, so that you're not up and just losing your mind. And here are the other two cards, okay? So what this tells me, right, what's coming to you or it's being revealed, okay? The Page of Discs and the Page of Cups, right? The pages are about new. It's like newness, young, and if it's a person, it's like a younger person, right? But really it's about newness, it's about curiosity, it's about excitement. And you have both cards, the Page of Cups and the Page of Discs. Now, cups is feelings, right? Feelings, emotions, it's like connected to your essence, right? And and pentacles, or in this case discs, is about the material things. It's about life, like the material goods. It's about earthly possessions. It's about your body. It's about things in the physical world. So what this is if you, okay, are up and look at this, like stressing out about all the things going on in your life, the layers and layers of concerns and fears and worries. And then you make a choice for yourself and you really choose yourself. Okay. You choose yourself, and that choosing yourself doesn't mean that you don't have a relationship or you have to leave whatever relationship you're in. Choosing yourself means that you are going to prioritize yourself and your needs first. You are going to communicate clearly. You are going to be vulnerable, right? And then you're going to allow the chips to fall where they may. And they may fall in a whole new opportunity, okay? thereby creating all new emotions and feelings. Okay. So this is new things coming your way, but you first need to release the old. You need to release your attachments to the things that aren't working. You need to release your attachments to relationships that have not served your highest good. You need to release your attachment to your beliefs that prevent you from seeing how incredible and amazing you are, and how possible it is for you to have a reciprocal, beautiful, harmonious relationship. And I say this as someone who got called crazy many times, who was told she was too much by so many. Okay. And I found my person. And I just want to tell you it's possible. It's possible for you to find somebody who sees all of the craziness and is like, yeah, baby, I want that. Okay. And sees all of the goodness and is like, woohoo, I get that too. Right. There is someone out there that has the capacity to hold all of you. And you should not stop until you connect with that part of you that allows for that relationship to exist, right? And that relationship could potentially exist in your life right now. It could be with your current partner, it could be in your current relationship, even if you're going through a rough time. Okay, because it begins with you understanding that you have to stop being mean to yourself, with you understanding that you have to stop taking breadcrumbs, and not feeling bad for expecting a whole meal, right? And for not feeling bad or shrinking or hiding parts of yourself because you're afraid that you're going to scare someone away. Scare them away. That's good to know. If they can't handle you, awesome. Good to know. Goodbye. Okay, that's what I have to say about that. Okay, yes, Namira, I did find someone. He's now passed on, and so he is no longer physically in my life because he died 2 years ago. But I am here, and I will constantly advocate for beautiful, reciprocal, supportive relationships because I lived it for 18 years. My husband was the best. Okay, I'm sorry. I experienced the best. I'm saying I'm sorry because I'm not trying to rub it in or make anybody feel bad, but I'm here as evidence that it exists. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to pull two quick cards because I have to end. We've been here for a while and I have to get to work. But I did say to AGF that I will pull a card, and I'm just going to ask the deck. Okay. AGF wants to know if Jo Marie loves him, her or him. I don't know. Them. AGF would like to know if Jo Marie loves them. So we're going to go, we're going to just see what the cards have to say. Okay. What do the cards have to say about that? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to say. And these are, like I said, this is the tarot cards. So, no, those were not part. Sorry. Those bottom ones fell out because I have tiny hands. Okay, well, I'm going to say, AGF, that these cards look pretty good. Okay, so first of all, Seven of Cups. It looks like there's options. Okay, now this is the only thing that I would hesitate with because I don't know if it is that Jo Marie has options or if you have options and you are thinking of the best way to go about it, right? But the question was whether or not she loves you. She's thinking about it, and she's well, if Jo Marie is a woman. So they're thinking about it. They have options and they are considering their options right now. However, look at the other two cards that came up. It's the King of Discs, okay, which is the king is like the leader of the material stuff, of the good stuff. And it can be a relationship. It can be, right? But the Nine of Cups, that's pure happiness. That is love. That is excitement. That is feeling nurtured and surrounded by all the things that you want. So I'd say it looks pretty good for you and Jo Marie. Okay, I would just, my only hesitation is that there's options. So either they have lots of options, right? Or there are a lot of things in play where she or they are considering whether or not a relationship with you is in their best interest. And that may be something you need to consider for yourself too. Okay, so that is for you. And Amira, I will pull a card for you too. Oh, thank you. I do keep him close. He's the best. He still is the best, but he was definitely the best as a, in real life when he was around. Okay, so Namira, the card that I'll tell you what card came out for you. Okay. And you said you're single. So we have the Four of Discs. What the Four of Discs tells me, we had it this week, is that you are protecting yourself. Okay. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, we had the Hermit today. So it's all about introspection this weekend. But in your introspection, because you're single and because you asked the question for me to do a little reading, the Four of Discs tells me that you are holding tightly onto things that you are afraid to release, that you are afraid to unleash. This could be things to do with your heart. It could be things to do with your life. Like maybe you've already built a really good life for yourself on your own, and you're a little anxious or nervous about letting someone else come in and sort of like shake things up, right? Sometimes we get into a routine. We like our lives and we may want a connection with somebody, but we've worked so hard to become independent, or we're just so used to being independent that sometimes it can cause us to be a little gun shy in launching into the possibilities of introducing someone else into your life, because then things have to change and you may have to compromise, and that may not be something that you want to do or are ready to do. But it is definitely something for you to consider, because look at this. If you're truly interested in a relationship, you're going to have to let some things go and open that door and get out there, right? If you're not interested in a relationship, then it's all good. Like, then you're doing fine. You just need to ask yourself whether or not you are ready to be vulnerable. Yes, you're afraid to let someone in. Look, it's right here in the cards, right? And it's okay to be afraid to let someone in. It's scary, right? It's scary to be vulnerable. It's scary to have someone in your life who then has so much power right over your emotions that they can lead you to all sorts of things and trigger those feelings of unworthiness, those feelings of not enoughness, those feelings of, whether or not you deserve a partnership. But I'm telling you, you deserve a partnership, especially if it's something that you want. And all you need to do is maybe spend some time being introspective this weekend and figuring out what is it that you can release ever so slightly. Where can you kind of let go a little bit so that you can put yourself out there just a little bit in order to share a little bit more of yourself. Let people get to know you, okay? And if they're not for you, that's okay. That has no bearing on who you are. That is just that they're not the match for you, right? Like if you have a puzzle piece, or if you have a big puzzle and there's pieces missing, you don't get pissed off if you pick up a piece and it doesn't fit. I mean, maybe you do, but it doesn't mean that the puzzle is broken. It doesn't mean that these pieces don't go anywhere. It just means that these pieces are not for this puzzle, right? And so you need to be open and aware that there are those pieces that will fit in your puzzle in your life, and that you will be able to connect with and resonate with and grow with. You just have to allow yourself to feel safe to go out and search for those pieces, or at least put yourself out there and available for those pieces to find you. Okay. You're welcome, Namira. Jim, the person in my life who I believe is an energy and vampire who wants to get together this weekend, not so much. Correct. Avoid the energy vampires, Jim. I don't have to tell you that. You already know. But yes, if there's somebody who's just trying to suck energy from you, then I would avoid them, because that's not going to serve you. Okay, so that's it for my readings today. I will be back next week. I don't know when I'm taking my vacation yet, so I will keep you posted. But in the meantime, I wish you so much love. I wish you so much excitement, especially this weekend. I hope that you do take some time to figure out what you want, and then that you come out of this weekend with clarity and confidence and ready to face the world and connect with the people who deserve your time, attention, and focus. Okay, I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and go ahead and book a reading with me if you would like your own personalized reading. Have a wonderful time and keep shining your light.